Ilza Roggeband, welcome to the ice cream interviews. So the ice cream interviews is because ice cream is nice and ice cream is innocent and ice cream is just authentic. I haven't seen you for a while. How are you?
2 years? Did you say 2 years?
I haven't seen you for a while. I think it's 2 years. Yeah, I haven't seen you for
Could
2
be.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, could possibly be.
Any books? Anything that you've written?
I'm still working as a full-time journalist, so I have a big TV channel, Kijknet, that I do a lot of work for, and I'm also working on a project that's very exciting called Afrikaans Amptelik 100. The Afrikaans language, the official centennial, is next year.
Oh wow!
The language is a lot older. It's way older. But
How old is Afrikaans?
No, 300 years plus.
300 jaar.
Yeah, 300 jaar.
Plus, no.
But on the 8th of May 1925, it was decided in Parliament that South Africa will have two official languages, one being English and one being Afrikaans. So this is the 100th birthday, basically, of it being an official language. So I'm working on that, and I was on the Kana panel for the Klein Nationale Kunstefeest this year. I go to a lot of theatre, I go to a lot of festivals as much as I can. Yes, and I cook and I read.
Biggest adversity that you've ever faced in your life?
I know where you're heading, but I'm not going to give you the answer that you're looking for.
And you're supposed to eat your ice cream while you're having the interview. That's the whole idea, so that you can look messy and so that it drips out of your mouth, and you know.
People, okay, just for people who don't know, I was diagnosed with breast cancer in September 2020. My son it was COVID. My son was busy with his record exam. He was in a matric. The whole country, the whole world was basically closed. And then I got this news that I was diagnosed with. But if I think back on my life, I'm 61 now, I'll be 62 at the end of July. Getting breast cancer and being in almost constant treatment for it because it spread to my liver and I had to go onto new medication and so on. It's not necessarily the worst thing that has happened to me. I've met some amazing people. I've met people who I've never ever would have met in my life. If I look at the private healthcare in South Africa and the quality of treatment that you can get, and the doctors, the nurses, I mean everybody from they call themselves vampires, the people who do draw my blood every 3 weeks. They're amazing people. So yes, it's tough. It's not always easy. But it's not the worst thing that has happened to me. But I always tell people that the reason why I can say that is because I've got private medical aid. I've got gap cover. I live in the Western Cape.
Are you selling something here?
Not at all. Not at all. What I am selling is to tell women, all women, please go for your mammograms.
Oh, wow.
The only way...
I didn't think we were going to go this way with this conversation.
The only way that breast cancer can be picked up is through a mammogram. And easy detection is good. The easier, the quicker they pick it up, the best it is for treatment. So that's part of my story. If I think of other hurdles that I've had in my life, I don't really see them as hurdles. Things happen for a reason. I became a mother for the first time a week after I turned 40. I was a single mother.
Do you think the reasons are always positive? Hello, Charlie. Hello, Charlie. Do you think the reasons are always positive?
I've always been a positive person.
What does positive mean?
Positive is being a bit of a Pollyanna, always seeing the silver lining. Irritates people sometimes, because I can remember after I was diagnosed, a friend of a friend, or actually one of my friends came to me and she said she was part of a conversation and somebody else said, they don't know how I can stay so positive. And they almost said it as if they were irritated by the fact that I was positive. But I've always been a positive person. If you go out in life and cry at every red traffic light, or every time you break a glass, or that's no way to live. You know, if you're going to focus on the negative, that is going to become the biggest weight in your life. I always joke and say that all of us, each and every person, even if they say that they're happy, each and every person does have a little clippy, a little stone that they carry with them. It depends what you do with that stone. If you want that stone to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow so big that you need to drag it behind you, tied to a piece of rope, that's not going to be a good life. If you sort out that little pebble, that little piece of stone, it can stay that small. Acknowledge it, and live with it. Otherwise, yeah, I prefer to be positive.
Do you think that little stone becomes part of your authentic self, your true self?
I think it does. I worked for a magazine many years ago, and I actually worked for Huisgenoot magazine when 9/11 happened. We were on deadline, and it was decided that we're going to redo the whole of the late section of the magazine in basically 2 days, 2.5 days. And maybe it's because I'm a journalist, but you don't panic. Panic is a waste of time. It's a waste of emotion. If you don't panic, if you keep a clear head, it just makes it easier for yourself and for everybody around you. And an ex-colleague of mine, one day at Huisgenoot, one day said, the day that Ilza panics, we know it's too late. Because I don't panic.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't help.
I've never seen you panic.
No, doesn't help. Just keep a clear mind and sort out the problem that's facing you now. Don't think of what's going to happen in a week's time or a year's time or 20 years' time. Sort out the problem now. In our ou Afrikaanse gesegde van, dis dalk nie so erg as wat jy dink dit is nie.
Yeah.
Might not even be that bad.
Yeah.
Just sort it out, carry on.
Do you think you become a journalist to prepare yourself for your battle against cancer?
I've always been a curious person, nuuskierig. I like information. I like reading up on things. I like sharing information. So if anything, my career as a journalist has helped me in helping other people, getting the message out. Go for your mammogram. Look at the cancer benefit on your medical aid. Get gap cover. These are good doctors. I want to say silly things, but it's not silly. But advice like if you or somebody that you know go for a mastectomy or a double mastectomy, you'll need pajamas with buttons because you can't lift up your arms.
Yeah.
So when people ask me and they said, listen, I've got a friend that's going in for a mastectomy, have you got any advice? That's the first advice that I gave them. Get pajamas with buttons.
Like nice practical. Have you ever thought of writing a book on like hacks for breast cancer or something? You know.
Books have been written, and also.
But not a book by Ilza Roggeband.
Yeah, but there's lots of information available. You know, we live in an age where.
You're supposed to help print media.
Yeah, but I mean, we live in a time where I can go to the Mayo Clinic onto the website and get all the information that I need. I'm on a Facebook. The treatment that I'm on is called Katsela, which was only approved in America in 2019, so it's fairly new. I was my oncologist's first patient on it, but I'm on a Facebook group, and there's ladies from England, from Finland, from India, lots from America, and you can ask them, listen, this is what I'm feeling, or this is what I'm going through. Do you have any help or any advice? Because we live in this amazing information age where information is available.
Do you think it's changed your personality? Going through so much suffering?
I'm not suffering. It's not really suffering because from the day that I was diagnosed up to today, and I actually got an email from the practice because I'm going for my next scans middle of June. From the day that I was diagnosed up to today, and it will be 4 years in September, it's never been asked of me to take a number and take a seat and wait for somebody to help me. I've got a fantastic doctor, oncologist. I had a wonderful surgeon. I've got a wonderful plastic surgeon. The sisters at the chemo room, the people that did the radiation, they are amazing. There are people who travel from the rest of the world to come to Cape Town to get their treatment. So, and I had that. So if you want to use the word suffering, it's not suffering in the sense of suffering.
So maybe embracing your suffering equals a positive outlook on life?
My oncologist always says that he's seen through the years, and he specialized at UCT and then went on a fellowship to Canada and is now in practice in Cape Town, that people with a positive attitude does have it easier. If you're going to, as jy in 'n hoekie gaan sit op 'n hoopie, with anything in your life, if you are going to go, oh, poor me, poor me, poor me, that's not going to help anybody.
Do you think you become more ill if you have that attitude? Possibly.
Possibly. The mind is a very strong part of any illness and of life. And staying positive and focusing on the good things. I mean, sometimes, like when they asked me to be on the panel this year.
The panel that's
for the festival, for the
Car.
arts festival. It's hard work. You know, you see up to 8 shows a day, long hours, rushing from one show to the other. And beforehand, when they asked me, I thought, oh my goodness, am I up to this? Will I be able to do it? It's 10 days. It's summer, it's hot, it's autumn. And then I decided that I can't see why I can't do it. And I did it. I did the whole festival, saw all the shows, had a wonderful time, saw some amazing pieces, and I was fine. So, yeah, your mind is very strong. Just keep your mind strong.
Diet? Are you on a special diet?
I try to eat as healthy as I can. I've cut out alcohol.
Yeah, but I think everyone should.
And
I think it should be banned.
I'm
actually serious. I think it needs to be banned.
What I do is, like my oncologist said, is I can have a glass of wine every once in a while. But when I have that glass of wine, it's either a special occasion or it's a really good glass of wine. Then I can appreciate it. I drink a glass of wine and then I drink
Only
water.
one?
And only one.
See, I won't be able to do that. That's why I just leave it completely.
Maybe I'm fortunate in that sense, is that I can only have one glass of wine. And I try and drink enough water. And I did some research on food that's good for the liver, especially because the treatment is also very hard on the liver. Not only the fact that I've got the spots on my liver, they've all gone now, but still.
Oh wow! So you got to recover the liver while you're on chemo and stuff. You need to that liver needs to recover the whole time.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
gosh,
things like good coffee, good proper coffee is good for the liver. Beetroot is good for the liver. Any of the green vegetables, spinach, broccoli, any of those, you need to drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
So I try to do that. Do I have a little bit of a problem with cutting out sugar completely? But the new, a while ago, I had this conversation with my oncologist, and a while ago, a couple of years ago, they said that sugar is one of the... They're shooting a movie, international movie.
Where is it?
Is sugar is...
Ons vat hom net gou terug.
Okay. One of the things that I do have a problem with cutting down on, but it's much better, is sugar. I've always been a sweet tooth. But there's more research showing that sugar isn't that bad for cancer. There was a time where they said, you're not allowed to have any sugar. My oncologist said anything in moderation. Just don't go overboard. So if I have a bowl of ice cream every once in a while or a piece of dark chocolate, it's fine. Yeah.
It's like anything. It's like anything in life.
Yeah.
I still do natural sugar, obviously in the fruits, and I juice. and now with the ice cream interviews. But otherwise, I've cut out chocolates, licorice, anything really artificial. Sugar and something. Obviously, I think it's really hard not to get, to take in sugar. If you look at the mind, we've spoken about how strong your mind is and how you look after your body, and then you've got that element, if mind, body, soul. Is there a soul element that you look after, like a spiritual element that you look after? Or does it all become one? Because if you look at mind, body, soul, it's all one thing,
Yeah. I think it all boils down to being happy. If you're and a positive outlook, it's basically that. Do good to other people. I think that's my biggest.
Wow. Yeah.
And it's always been like that.
Yeah.
I don't, since ons in Afrikaans sê, hang dit nie aan die groot klok nie. But I like helping.
Yeah.
I like volunteering.
Yeah.
I like people.
I know you do, yeah.
People can ask me, can I quickly make a pot of soup because somebody needs it,
Sure.
and I'll do it.
And then I saw on Facebook you volunteered now for the 200th 200th time for the park run in Melkbosstrand.
Yeah.
That's something that I've been thinking about a lot this year, and I got you the answer. It didn't take me long. Is surrendering to life. How do you surrender to life and make your peace with also who you are? So I was sitting playing with the word the one day, surrender. How do I surrender? How do I surrender? How do I completely surrender? And then it started serve. And then I realized you completely surrender when you serve other people.
Sometimes it's not even volunteering every Saturday morning at parkrun. Sometimes it's giving somebody a compliment out of the blue. You've got beautiful eyes. I love your shoes. Small things can really make a change in people's lives.
And consistency. I think consistency is important.
And not doing it falsely, not saying that, but there's some jobs that are so, dis sulke mense ondankbare werk. If I look, can you imagine that you work in a facility where they give chemotherapy every day, 5 days a week for a whole year? You see people at their worst. You see people at their most positive. You see families crying. But I've never laughed so much. You meet amazing people from all walks of life. And that's one of the reasons why every 3 weeks when I go for treatment, they either get a cake or soup that I've made, or and it's not to make myself feel better. It's just to say that I can see what you're doing, and I can see what you're going through, and this must be one of the most difficult jobs in the world to do. And thank you.
I see the ice cream's done, but you and I, we've known each other more than 20 years, and we can talk for a very, very long time. So I just want to end the conversation by asking you, what are the 3 most important things that you would like to share to people that's going through the same through the same ordeal, but let's not call it an ordeal. Let's call it an experience. Let's call it an experience.
Stay positive. It's not always easy, but stay positive. Work on it. Surround yourself with positive people. The last thing that you need is somebody mixing with somebody saying, and I got that in the beginning, it's amazing when you tell people that you've got cancer, they know 20 people who have died of cancer. You don't need people like that. Go away, go away. So surround yourself, stay positive, surround yourself with positive people. Basically the same thing, but see the joy in life. It's easy to lock yourself up in your house and never go out. But do it. Go and watch a show. Go and walk at the beach or in a park. Or do things that are good for you. That's the second thing. What would be a third thing? I would think, yeah, it's basically just seeing the beauty in life.
The small things.
Yeah.
Observe.
Yeah.
I used to be such a bad observer. And since that's changed, gosh, a whole world has opened up to me, you know?
There's a wonderful quote of, I think it was called Mr. Rogers. He was a TV presenter of a children's show, and something bad happened, like the Vietnam War, or there was a bomb explosion or something. And he spoke to his mother, and his mother said, when bad things happen, go and look for the people who are helping. And that's my motto. Look for the helpers. Go and help the helpers, because they need help.
Ilza, love you to the moon and back. Live simply, travel light, and always see the wonder.
Yeah, needs work.